Hello. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone the world you all are. It's your Blue Archive Gacha whale. I'm a Mr. Fish. Beginner artist self-proclaimed and your boy, Tosan Yu. Welcome to the stream. For today I will be doing a stream and with that like VTuber fan art as well. This time I will be for like my kind of quest on drawing Hololive. Will be like from graduated holo staff, retired holo staff. You would also like say Harusaki Nodoka. No particular reason, but you know, trying to like complete all the puzzle pieces, or more or less, you know. And yeah, the stream will be like roughly 2 hours long. If I'm like really fast, I might be like able to do it 90 minutes, maybe 1 hour, but it will also be me like yapping, so kind of like see about that. If you're not familiar with my art style, you can like see on the left side some samples, and yeah. I will go today with a little bit of a handicap. I was like traveling today, and I usually, when I like look at screens, you know, for a long amount of time, I do like wear glasses that can like filter those, can filter the blue light. But I lost like my glasses like on the train ride, so I'll try my best like for today to like finish it as soon as possible. So I will like kind of like go about like the quality, you know, and just like to make sure, okay, Tosan, quantity, you know, be fast, draw as much as you can, draw as fast as you can, and yeah, that's about it. And yeah, it's kind of a goal like for me when I like draw like on a weekly basis and like I stream that, you know, that I'm gonna be fast, you know. Since I do like I do like time. As an adult you will like lose more time and time. And when I play like for example Blue Archive, you know, and it's like about, you know, anime schoolgirls, you know, it's really like, yeah, those are anime schoolgirls, you know. While it's like there for the marketing with like anime girls, you know, the theme of like youth in school, you know, story care with the heart, you know, it's like something that hits like somewhere, you know, like when you're like young, you're like so carefree, you know, you don't have to worry about the adult life, really. You can just like focus on your life in school, you know, like with not necessarily like learning, studying, you know, but just like hanging out with like the other like kids there at the school, you know. You have like a good place where you like go back every time, like meet other people, like schoolmates, you know, like make like a group, friend group, like in general, like just you know, like connections. While you're like studying, you know, while you're like kind of like moving forward. And that while like teachers, you know, adults are like those who like raise them, more or less. It's usually like in the responsibility of like adults, like parents like to do that, but they can't like surveil and help in every single step, since someone has like to bring money at home, you know, and full-time job, for example, is like required to like more or less like make sure that the family stays like afloat. And yeah, so in that case it's gonna be like the teachers who like do their job. And like the sensei Blue Archive, does like take a lot in that regards. Takes a lot of their time to like help them out, even like risking their life. Like in the archive's case, you know. It's the responsibility of an adult. Of course, you can be like someone who uses the power like for something, you know, like for your own gain. You have like more experience. You like effed up a lot more. You can really like exploit those who don't know, or whose knowledge is like outdated. But usually it's like about the younger people, right? And looking at the current generation, you know, the birth rate is like declining, right? So it like becomes more and more important to like have understanding about what this really means, you know, being an adult. Well, how did I come to this topic? I guess what I kinda like want to go out to is like, you know, once you like take responsibility, you will have like less time for yourself. It's like the thing, you know. But it's like, I guess the best path like to go. You will like lose time for like a longer period of time. But once, you know, once you teach like the hungry man, the hungry kid how to fish, you know, then they will never go hungry, you know. It's like the kind of morale there, right? But when you like too old, maybe at some point, or like in a pinch, maybe they will be the ones to reach their hand out to you, right? Like a give and take. Young generation, you know, the birth rate is declining. Oh well, it has like maybe like a you can like kind of like see that different way, you know, but but I see like for myself, man, I do also like run out of time. Maybe not run out of time, but I see like time passing by, you know. It's just like, man. But yeah, I kind of like want to like go fast here, so that I can like make more use of my time. Maybe like for you it's like the same case for some of you gamers out there. I think it's also like when you don't have like enough hours a day, what can you do? You can like cut out some hobbies, you know, like save up more time. Maybe like cancel like some meetings, or maybe like cut out all your sleep, you know. If you're like young, it's like unhealthy to do, by the way, like reduce your sleep. If you're like young, you can, I guess, get away with that. You could get away with that with like not sleeping a full day, or just like gaming through the whole night, like hiding under my blanket, you know, playing on my handheld console. It's just like you know, game. But now with today's age, you know, with smartphone, usually like when you play a game, there's an end, you know. At some point you like finish the game and there's like no reason to do that anymore. Like hiding, you know, under the blanket and playing. I like kind of like at some point I did stop with that and then just like slept more. You know, I maybe like do a 1 hour session, 2 hour session, then oh okay, sleep, you know. But now with like the smartphone, I do remember, yeah, actually, or like when I get internet in general, access to internet, like I do sleep over at someone's house, you know, and I at the time had like no internet of my own, so I kind of like did the same thing there, you know. Oh, can I have some Wi-Fi, you know, and then yeah, go ahead, you know. And then when it was like nighttime and I went to sleep, you know, I would be like still awake and then like download this, download that, download this, download that, you know. So they have like, when I'm like back at home offline, you know, I have like at least like something to watch or like something to play, you know, like you can download games online, wow, you know. And then yeah. So this is like what I did, you know. But man, I think like I maybe slept like 2 hours, 3 hours, I don't know, like at this time. But now that I have like internet my own, I don't have like a reason to like, you know, maybe, you know, this like queues, 1 more hour, 1 more minute, 5 more minutes, you know, then it turns like into 30 minutes, maybe like 1 hour, you know, and then yeah. But I was like never one guy who's like, when it comes like to sleep, be like, oh please 5 more minutes, and then I decide to sleep for longer. It's like, yeah, okay, I have to wake up, then okay, let's go, you know. Especially if I like know I have to go to work or I have like a stream coming up. I'm not lazy, you know. I'm not lazy. I don't skip really. I don't really try to like make it make as less work as possible. Do as less work as possible. It's like nothing like I really would do. I do my best. There's no but really, I think. There's no but really. I really have no reason to like slack, you know. And when I have like, let's say like with live service games, for example, you know, they have like limited events or something like that, or like a stamina system, then you have to like actually look like twice into the game a day, you know, or like more often. If it's like really like urgent for me to like check into this event like regularly, even like during my work time, man, I would just like go quickly to the bathroom, you know, do that quick, you know, and then return and like focus on work again. Sometimes there would be like a lot of openings where I could like actually like do it during work, you know. I don't have like to pretend to like, oh, I have to take a pee, you know, but I could like actually access that. But like with the danger of that is like that I like gonna look at my phone more often than like actually need it, and then yeah, it's like kind of like the thing that the screen is like capable of doing, making you addicted, you know. It's when something also like can train your stamina, say motivation, you know. I need like a lot of like MP motivation, more or less, to like function. Well, some people need sleep to function, like That's actually some, but like a lot of people, all people need sleep to function. They all need like maybe caffeine, you know. Some have like their kind of fuel, their stamina potion to like, you know. But for me, I always like need like motivation. If I like kind of blew it off all with like something unproductive but fun, you know. And then I like have to do the productive thing, it's kind of like, nah, I don't wanna, you know. But if it's like my full-time job, then it's kind of like you know, I do it, but it's like, I don't wanna, you know. And it's like not really good for the morale of mine, like work morale, you know. The best I like can work is like if I have like pleasures, like don't have like too much pleasure or something like that. It's kind of like one, but the thing is like, you know, there's like the thing of like poison, and then there's like the thing of like pleasure, you know, but pleasure is also like some kind of poison. It can be like kind of a motivational fuel, you know, but once you like get the reward, you know, and it's like very often at some point like your brain is like getting like exhausted, and it's like, okay, Tosan, we had like enough of that thing, you know, and then like it's like kind of response in like kind of tiredness of that, you know. And then if you have like to like do actually do something productive, the brain's like, nah, we had enough like of like this thing that motivates us, you know, and we don't need to work more to like get more happy about that, you know. We're already satisfied, you know. I've seen enough, I'm satisfied, like the kind of deal thing, right? And then yeah, it's like yeah, it's like kind of like in Japan there's like the kind of motto, first the work and then like the enjoyment, whatever they said, you know. Like do your work first and then, you know, and like do what you're pleased to do. And yeah, I kind of counteract that with like seeing certain games as like work right now. For me, for example, like Blue Archive. Also, I'm also like leading a clan there, or a club, a guild or something. In some games, in other games it's like called like that, right? For me, it like becomes more like work with Blue Archive, you know. Like with the club, I like lead. It's like less of a joy, more like work. But sometimes someone has like to do it, you know. Someone has to do it. I'm like pretty sure there might be like a lot better organized guilds out there, for example, you know, like not only like by in-game chat, but like maybe they know each other in life, you know, they do like offline parties, whatever, you know. This was like kind of like thing. But I like try my best, you know, like to keep up to standard, you know, do some events in terms of like, hey, prize money or like gift cards, you know, that's a raffle. There were like those things like that were like there even when I was like not in the leading position, but now I am. It's like responsibility I have like to take on. I have to carry some people, some players, some teenies, some of the same age as me, maybe like even older. But I think like, you know, either they are like the same age as me or like younger. So I suppose. Like most Blue Archive players are like teenies, 30 years, in their 30s. But you know, it's like usually like the interest of like, oh, anime schoolgirl, okay, I'm in, you know. They have weak guns, then can kind of like tickle the brain of like those military nerds, you know, really like weapon nerds and everything. There's even like in Blue Archive like one kind of okay, there was, let's say, like story-wise, there was like group that was like focusing on the military aspect, you know, like a military school, a military academy is there also, like, you know, but like one is like taking like more to the extreme, that they're like even like special units, like special ops, you know. Usually like when you have like guns and everything, like an army, you know, it's like multiple people, but when like a special unit is like, okay, let's do like a mini HR team, you know, like we assign like the most important roles. Okay, there's like the sniper, this is like the one who's like taking the aircraft to everything, then we have like one supporter or something like that, like on the helicopter or whatever, or like it's like surveilling the place, maybe a hacker, you know, something like that, you know. Like information warfare is like also necessary, like in the small units. They need like to know, okay, is around the corner enemy, you know, okay, they can use mirrors like that, but it's just like to have a general understanding of like the whole field they go in, and then yeah, it's like that a lot of people like cover like different roles, but it's like maybe like 4 people instead of like 20s, 50s or so, because they need to like go in conspicuously, like, you know, like ninjas. It's like kind of cool, you know, like how this is like covered. But it's also like interesting with the world building of the archive. It sometimes feels like there's no world building when we have like to kind of like fix it together, you know. But yeah, like some things are like kind of vague. I don't really understand how to draw that part of the hair. Okay, I like to try. Ah man, I do like the designs, or like the holo stuff, you know. Ordan Sensei, yeah, who drew them, were like responsible for like the redesign of Suisei, was responsible for Sora, Harusaki Nodoka, now and also like Michiru, the new announcer, you know. It's pretty solid. And Nodoka, man. I still remember like the one clip where she's like the BDB Badidi Booba, you know, like from Suisei, like when like even at dance performance, it's like, man, Stuff Sound really is like, you know, they have like all idol potential, you know, but they're like instead like stuff, you know. Of course, they're like actually staff members, like managers, you know, but they choose like not to become like, you know, like have a face or something like that, right? I guess like this is interesting. But yeah, it's not gonna be like complicated like what I draw. Okay, I'm like about 27 minutes in, right? I will keep it simple. Not trying too much. I wonder if I'm like gonna upload a lot of pictures at once. So I haven't like uploaded a long time. I'm like really sporadic, you know. When like they're like accounts, like, you know, like that obviously use like AI art, they'd like upload like on a really regular basis, like daily or like every 4 hours or something like that. And no human can like output so much quantity like in regards of like art of like high caliber quality, you know. It's like, you know, kind of a sign this is a machine. It's like working there. It's like not a human. Like machine AI can like do art, you know, but usually like the general consensus, you know, for like art enjoyers and like artists is like, yeah, we want human art. Human art look better, you know. Sometimes we see like art that's like done by machines, like, wow, this is really good, and then we press like, and then we check the account, it's like AI art, by the way, and then no, you know, then it's kind of, I got fooled. Then yeah, and it becomes like actually better and better by the time. It's kind of like, yeah, it's like kind of like hard. But the thing is like, not necessarily that we despise because it's a machine, it's just like, yeah, they use like other people's art to like generate, to like make those kind of things. And this is like where the line is like drawn. But if like the technology is like utilized in a more ethical way, who knows, you know? It has pros and cons. But currently, you know, the cons are like more in the side of like the ethic, about like the ethics. And yeah. Investors are like, however, be like, oh, we don't need to pay a human, you know, we don't like need to like make sure, you know, like regarding like, okay, sickness days, vacation, that we like have to like make sure that they're like insured or so whatever, right? That's like more like about efficiency and like cutting costs, you know, like hiring some people here and there, you know, like half the company, then we replace that like with AI. I'm like laughing and you know, but actually this is like a serious issue, you know, and it's kind of like, oh man, this became true, you know. And then there's like the internet theory as well, that like everything is like, you know, by like some bots, you know. And if like even like art, you know, which is usually like I think limited to like Ingen, you know, then it's like, yeah, okay. I think what they can like do at least is like give some idea, spark of inspiration. Some works are like able, you know, to use like utilize AI that way, more or less, you know, like let's say, you know, like one book or something got won like a award or something like that, and then like the author says, yeah, I did use AI there, but it's like not in the sense that everything was like written by AI. Also, it's just like in a sense, you know, like kind of like the meta that there's like kind of a section, you know, where they needed like, I guess ChatGPT or whatever, you know, to like put out a sentence that sounds is like made by an AI, you know, or like some kind of story reasons, you know, like when like the antagonist is like some kind of AI guy, you know, and then they need like something, okay, what would the AI like write and reply, you know, then it's like this kind of thing that's like the only thing that's AI generated, but the rest is like self-cook or something like that, right? I guess it's like one acceptable way, or like memes, whatever. Yeah, but I guess like kind of interesting. I talk like about that I can't like be a machine, like regularly put out my work out there, you know. But yeah, it's kind of interesting, you know, like when you start yapping, when you get into a tangent. I do like yapping, but I also like to talk with other people. Today I talk like a lot, and man, I love conversations. And I had like, you know, I put like people on people like some smile, but for some other people, I did like really notice, okay, they really don't want to talk much, you know. But they're just like that way. I don't know. But I more and more do gain the ability, kind of past introvert senses. Okay, maybe I'm still introvert, you know. But I guess I'm social introvert. But as you know, while I did like the talk and everything, it trained me. I noticed like when I was like on the train ride back home, there were like times where like when my eyes would like fall down, and then I like caught myself like, oh, Tosan, stay awake, you know, don't fall asleep. We're just a little bit longer, and then you're back in your town, and then it's like, yeah, okay. How long we're in? 36 minutes. Okay. I kept like the things here in the background a bit gray, since I know I like mentioned that I lost my blue light filter glasses on the train ride. It was like not on the way back, but like to the destination. Like when I want to like get from like my hometown to like there. So yeah, I did like, what's called? I did like a call, or like, hey, I lost that thing. You know, if you pick it up, you know, like train conductor sons, train staff son, you know, please give me a notice, something like that, you know, like via online. I'm gonna like see, but I'm also like considering like buying new glasses, you know. Maybe like offline this time. I was like looking like through some like stores, you know, who do like sell blue light filter glasses. So I should be fine in that regard. But yeah, like they recommend those. It can like make like things easier when looking at the screen. When you don't like have those classes on, then you have to make sure to move a lot, be aware of your posture, and then like blink a lot, you know, like blink regularly. Usually I don't really want to blink that much since I'm like, you know, drawing, and then I have like kinda to like, you know. See that everything is like alright, or like to like spot mistakes like a lot easier. But if I play events, it's just like refreshing the page, and then I have like to look again actually, you know. Look again. Okay, Nodoka-san. I did remember like one interaction with like, you know, when Holo Tempest was a thing. When it was like kind of, you know, not news anymore that Axel was like interested in Nodoka-san, but Nodoka-san she married, you know, and you know, you're gonna NTR her, but it's kind of like, no, you like her, you know, and then all the boys started like vouching for him or something, you know, like when she would like put out a post, you know, Nodoka-san, and Axel like tweets under it, and it's like, you know, hey, Axel, thanks by the way for like saving my dog, like when you're like a real one. And like, hey Axel, thanks for like saving me like from when there was like a fire in my house. You're a real one, you know. And then some are like, vouch, I was the burning house. Oh, I vouch, I was like the fire man or something like that, you know, something. And it was like a kind of interesting era, you know, like just via social media, like not like YouTube, you know, but like via the Twitter, you know, like how they attack with each other. Like, this was like a funny bit, I say. And then when that Luca actually like replied to Axel, be like, yeah, let's go, you know, your little bro, like we support like our homies, you know, in a sense, like homie stars. It's like not holo stars anymore, it's like homie stars, you know, like our bros, holo bros, homie stars. I don't know, like, I don't really know if like people nowadays say homie, you know, but I guess it's like kind of like tells, you know, like how I attach like to the words used back then. Oh, this was hit back then, you know, and then it like sound really outdated, you know. It's kind of like this hello fellow kids, you know, like pretty much. But yeah, I had a lot of fun today, like during the daytime. Had a lot of fun. I don't know. I guess like I kind of brought my streamer personality into like my real life. I suppose. Usually like I'm a lot more silent in real life. But I guess like that's really like part of me. Streamer personality. Well, like streamer personality, like not in a sense it's like bad, you know, but just like I was able to talk. I was like able to like you know, even like when I let people talk, that I can like, you know, steer in like a direction. And that has like a good ending, you know, like that all the kind of interactions I had like somewhat of a satisfying ending, or like somewhat of okay ending, you know. But with some people it could like really, was like not really possible, you know, like reading the room, you know, like reading like their behavior, the body language, their emotions, you know, the like facial expressions. There's like a lot going on there. I'm kind of like impressed, you know, and how do you know, like when if I like go back to the if like I'm like past Tosan, you know, and I look at like at the Tosan nowadays, like man, how do you do that? But yeah, as time goes on, you do like evolve, you do like level up, you know, even if you don't notice it. But you know, if you like look at like the past stuff of yourself, and then you clearly like see the level up, you know, and you feel the cringe coming, and yeah, that's like a sign, you know, that you level up really. You know, like if you look at past stuff, it's like worse than like what you do nowadays, you know. You could like be appreciated of that, you know, and be like, yeah, look at me, this was me day one, you know. And then look at the at like the progress from today, you know. Maybe like it's like, hey, remember this one little kid you like bullied in school? That's him. That's him now. Something like that, right? But I guess like a lot of revenge stories from like anime are like that. Or like a lot of slop in this regard, you know, like remember as a little kid, this him now, when it's like some giga chat with like a lot of harem waifus, you know, and then he has like cheat skill power, whatever, and then yeah, okay, whatever, you know. It's like escapism pretty much. If like see someone overpowered and then like have a lot of girls, whatever, you know. Like the strong like get everything. And it's like not really like a good message, you know. But I guess, no. If like the good selling point is like the action and like some cute waifus. Then yeah. Well, I like draw you know, Holo Pro fan art, and it's like, yeah, those are like all cuties. Yeah. Yeah, it's too bright. Alright. But sometimes like the main character in like those kind of stories, they do be like pretty self-aware, or like at least like not the typical like sock puppet kind of you know, self-insert or whatever, but actually have a personality. Then it can kind of like be like interesting to watch. Okay. Kind of bad that tomorrow is like Sunday. Stores are like closed here in Europe. And like blue light filter glass are like really specific. Oh, I gotta like see what I can do there. My poor eyes. Maybe, yeah. But it's a lot better to like go yourself and like do a order and let it get delivered to your home. It can take like longer, you know, like days. Maybe like weeks. depending. But yeah, oh gosh. I'm kind of like feeling about giving up, but I need to move on. Tosan, never give up. Okay, I will never give up, because she never did. Okay, Nodoka here. Nodoka-san. But yeah, the reason for like exes to like Nodoka-san is like he loves people who work their ass off, you know, like hardworking people. And I do get Aniki, I do get them. They're like great. They're like always like people who like can complain. Oh man, if only like this would be better. No, I don't have like the cream equipment to like do the job. Oh man, this sucks and everything, you know. This doesn't really do much. Even like if you complain like, oh man, it's hot outside today. Oh, and then yeah, while some of those things are like right, nothing can like come out of it if you like, you know, look like at things pessimistically, you know. Sometimes you have to like to take the L, you know, that can like something that's like actually not changeable, like you know, nature, and just like move on despite like the kind of roadblocks, the debuffs and everything that you've been like afflicted with, you know. And just like keep working. Of course there will be at some point burnout, you know, even like for those people who like work hard. But this like overall like, you know, like let action speaks, you know, rather than like you know, waste time of words. Wasting time of words, by the way. I see that a lot of writing. You could have just like move on to the next scenes of like kind of describing every nook and cranny. This is kind of what I don't like really about back 7 and Backwater Dungeon. My trusted companions betrayed me, but thanks to level give off a level 999 friend, yeah, or something like that. I received a friend and then I'm out for revenge. Like for this anime, I don't really like what they did for episode 2. Like episode 1 was like kind of like you know, but 2 was like kind of worse, you know, like wasting time there instead of like actually progressing with the story. More or less. They brought like in a lot of new different characters there, but it's like I don't care, you know. What about the plot from the first episode, you know, like the hook you like did there? What about that? And it's like, yeah, whatever. Also like watch episode 3 and it's like really pretty much like a lot of bully story crap, bully story slop. Especially like from Korean, you know, media, manhwa, Netflix. It's like pretty much, yeah. There's like the level 1 boss, you know, like the bully, you know, and you're like this little guy. It's like usually how stories go, right? But at some point, the little guy powers like the bully, and then it's like the bully becomes the most pathetic character ever, you know? It's like, kind of like, you know? Really a bad loser, pathetic through, you know? The rewriter, the author does like everything in their power to like make them look like, you know, ass so that they like the main character a lot more, you know, but you know. It's kind of like petty, kind of like lazy. But yeah. And I don't have any hopes on like, for example, like those kind of fetish stories to like get any better. But you know, I see like the mistakes and then yeah. Oh, the new Hololive management. Is she new? She's like pretty oldish. And she left. Nodoka-san. Unless you live under a rock, I suppose, then yeah. But yeah, hello 8, welcome to the art stream. I'm trying Harusaki Nodoka from who was a Hololive staff member. Welcome, welcome. If you refer like to the new one last week, you are like 1 week too late. Where did I stream? But yeah, not gonna stream for too long, I don't plan to. I try like to get it done as quickly as possible since I work on a handicap with like not wearing my glasses, like my blue light filter glasses. And I have a little bit of a pain to like look a long time at like PC screens, you know, like without like having the filter. I'll try like to complete like quickly today. We're like about 54 minutes in according to my OBS, but maybe I can like go faster, you know? Gonna see about that. There's like a fine way really in conversations to like use silence. To let people talk. That's not really useful like in a solo stream. Like when you stream on your own. Not really that useful. Sadly. I utilize the silence in like my conversations today like I had. It's kind of interesting like how you can like let people like talk and talk more, you know. And maybe like get like some interesting nuggets here and there to like experience. I'm a little bit lazy today. Maybe yeah, let's say that's a lanyard, but I like made the oversize. Yeah. Let me like check the Hololive website, by the way. If they changed, they probably have like changed the note on like Nodoka's entry, right? But I'm gonna like look at it again. Harusaki Nodoka? Yeah, that did that. Retirement, like in brackets retirement, then Harusaki Nodoka. She was around for about 3 years. Is that right? Or 4 years? 4 years actually. Is that right? Like around 3 or 4 years. I have in my memory. It was like a little bit before Holo Tempest was a thing. Now draw the frog. Froggy. My plan was actually to have an oversized tablet or so, but now that I like came a little bit farther, I was like, let's draw like oversized lanyard, you know. A lot of first times. Gonna apply like a lot of base color for now, and then or maybe like do it like a tablet, you know. I'm kind of like lazy to like do more. Keep like a minimum of the details and such. Maybe not lazy, but you know, I have that handicap right now. I don't really want to stare too long, like especially like during a stream, where I also have to like look at chat. Recommendations like to blink, to like move, take breaks, but I can't like take breaks right now. Okay, I do like notice. And I've also like other stream tomorrow, like 6 song, you know, like Hollow Knight 6 song. So this will be like also like something where I have to like to respect like, my health, my eye. There's like the camera section here. You know, like from a tablet or like some phones, whatever. I can't disclose like the trademark for this one, no, there's like really top secret information, you know. But yeah, alright. I do like to draw like the little details every now and then, you know. Maybe I should like do something like about that if I draw like design a new design for myself. A lot of people, you know, some people got like used to like how I look like right now, right? And this will not really go away. Like this look. It will like still be around somewhere, you know. But since I like stream like more regularly, a lot of scheduling thing, you like know when to expect me. I kind of like think, huh, you know, it's time about that I need to update at some point. You know, like some VTubers, they do like new outfit reveal, you know, but there can also be like a new model update, you know, something like that. Like, you know, like Casper Cartagini or like Red and Nearing, like Red and the Orc, you know. They also like did something like that with an update, more or less. With Red, it's like more or less, you know. He had like a VTuber model, like Live 2D. Then he went like back to being an orb. Then a PG tuber, you know. To being back like to be a Live 2D VTuber again, you know, like in terms of like models. Okay, do a little bit more of the line weight. Hehehe. You're using the wrong color. Color, right? It's like with a double O, right? O, and then O, color. But sometimes I don't like say the O, I just like without like an E, you know, like color. It's like the something different, like the color. It's kind of like interesting, you know. You just have to like change like one letter, and then it's like a different it's a different word. It's like my pronunciation, you know, like the way you spell the words can also be like really relevant, you know, to be like, okay, what did do talk about, you know? No, it's like about a collar, right? It has to be the colors. Gosh, do you know what I say? You know, it's the same like with think of I'm missing like carrots, you know, like the currency, carrots. And then the food, it's also like pronounced carrots. You know? I hate this. But yeah. Like when there are words that sound similar, you know, but are not the same. Gosh, my brain can't keep up. Holy crap. And now I notice I almost fell asleep like the stream. I just closed my eyes and then, you know, just a moment. I fell asleep already on that. I do need to sleep. Sleep. I didn't like sleep long today, like about 5 to 6 hours. I think like I should give myself proper rest this time. But also have to stream 6 songs, so let me like do it quickly, have like 8 hours sleep. Yeah, and then we are like 1 hour and 8 minutes in, right? Right. Fantastic, right? But I hope this was like a kind of okay-ish amount of like talking. Probably is. I'm always like good in that. I don't know, to be honest, but I think I do like okay job regarding that. It's like okay is an art stream, you know, but what's like more important than like the art is almost for me like, yeah, Tosan, did you entertain people today? No, get the hell out there. Well, I did entertain a lot of people offline, and I met like the people, had like a talk with them. So I suppose my quota's done for the day. How do you entertain people? You can like just by talking to them. You don't have to be like a magician, you know, and do like some tricks there and be like, oh, can you show me that again, you know, whatever. There are legit some people who like do like this kind of thing to impress people, but yeah, there are like other ways that are more healthy, you know, unless you really like, you know, want to be like the one guy at a birthday party, be like, hey, look at that, I can move the cards, you know. I gotta guess what you like is on your mind. Or whatever, you know, like the card tricks, what, you know. Or like that they eat fire, whatever. Or like summon like some birds. I don't really like mine that much. But I do like think there's like a better way to like capture people's hearts. The magic trick is like, just a magic trick is like a gimmick, you know, more a gimmick than like actually a useful tool for something. Unless you try to make content out of that, you know, you're gonna be like, I don't know. But there are like a lot of like content like out there like that, right? Regarding like how to summon a bird, you know, how to eat fire, how to like summon a bunny or whatever, you know. But it's not really like magic, it's just like all tricks, you know. Of course it is. But like the children, they still believe, oh man, this is magic, right? Man, we found a sorcerer, we found a wizard, let's go. But yeah. Actually, like when I was younger, I had like the pleasure on like helping like regarding like a magic trick, you know, like was kind of like a street magic or so. And they summoned like, I don't know. There were like a lot of tissues, you know, that are like connected to each other like via knots, right? And then, you know, there was also an interactive thing, you know, that they like picking like someone from the audience and then, hey, put on that, you know, put on the other end of like the rope sheets, you know, and then like pull and then boom, bird is like flying out of the opened sheets, you know, and then it's like, yo, it's like cool, you know. I say like rope sheets, but like rope tissues? I don't really know, you know, but it's like that, you know. And there's like certainly a trick of that, maybe like misdirection, like Kuroko and Kuroko no Basket, you know. That like when people like pay attention to like let's say like Kaito Kid, for example, right? Like he's like a man in like white, you know? And people like usually like look for something white, you know? Like let's say like there's like lights out. The lights turns on, you know? Where's Kaito Kid? And then they look like for something white, you know? That they explore everything that's like black. There are like tricks like that, for example, right? That like they put attention to like one thing and then like naturally the attention to like the other hand is like disappearing. Then from there on like he does something, you know? This was like a trick like when I was a kid, you know? Now that I got older, but not that I really think about what might be like the trick behind like how did he summon the bird, you know? It's kind of like, yeah. But when I was a kid, I was like, wow, magic! Oh, it's so cool, you know, it's real, and yeah. I like a lot of fun. But you know, things like magic, like the street magic, are like from short lasting nature. And then you have like to come up with new tricks. You can't like, you know, impress the people with the same trick over and over again. You have like to come up with something new. And this is like what I think, like, you know, entertaining people, you know, like learning magic to entertain people. Long term, you can't do that. You have to like learn on your conversational skills, you know, bro. Getting more knowledge, more human to human knowledge, how to interact, you know, how to like write characters at some point. Then you can like start your first fanfic. I ever create a fanfic? Not really. Or original stories. But I did like fan-made comic strips, or like, you know, like as fan art for like VTubers. Fan-made, like I did myself, yeah. But I'm a fan, you know, it's like nothing official, it's like amateur. You know, maybe I'm like an amateur artist. Amateurs, you know, maybe I'm like amateur. Looking down on myself. But you know, I always like keep the expectations low. If it's like always when it comes to like comparison. Or like, you know, there are a lot of other artists out there. I think they might be better than me. Or have like a chance like to, you know, get there. And then I just eat dust. But yeah, let's see. Regarding Nodoka's hair, it's not that bright, by the way. But it gets a little bit darker in this area. So maybe like multiply can like work there. Let's see. I'm not really like knowledgeable about like the coloring progress at all. I do it like very basically and like call that day. I do a lot of basic stuff. Nothing too special. It's still enough, but yeah, it's not special. You're not special, another star. You are my special. Oh gosh. But yeah, there's like this one song from like Kali, you know, that with something like with the lyrics of like "You're not special," and yeah, you know, every single time I hear the song, I'm like humbled, you know. Of course, she's like not necessarily like trash talking like people, you know, but I listen to the song, be like, man, a lot of raw emotions, you know. You have like a little bit of anger there, but you know, true somewhere. There's a lot more in humbleness than like, you know, pretending you're like something great, but there's also like the thing of like fake it until you make it, you know. You pretend to be like the best guy ever, and then maybe at some point you become like the best guy, you know. That the lie is becoming like the truth. Are there like any examples like that? I guess Blue Archive. There's like one volume that like kind of focuses on that kind of topic. And a problem like young people like have, for example. Some young people have. Not be relatable, I suppose. Like even like the most cheerful, brightest people, they can also like break at some point. And I always like find it sad, for example, like when someone who was like always sunshine and happiness, you know? Let's say like the class clown who like ends up as the class president. And then the next day, he's like not so cheerful anymore. It's like, hey, what happened, you know? What the hell happened? And yeah. Oh, wrong layer. Never mind, never mind. But yeah, usually, but overall I liked today. I like today a lot. I hadn't like talked to many people in a long time. In a sense, I also have like a kind of satisfying ending. You know, like that I really felt like happy afterwards. I don't know. I did smile a lot today. That I like kind of feel tired. Like now that I come like to the streaming today. I will like fill up my tank like probably like by restoring like in sleep, you know, like and then there's like Silk Song, but you know, it's like see, you know. Alright, let me see, what can I do? Is there more I can do? Yeah, I can, there's more I can do. There's more I can do. You do what you do can do. do. Do what you can. Right. Alright. Alright. Ooh. I think like when stuffs or life stuff gets like graduated, they don't have like the talents like Aqua, Shion, Boko, like graduation streams. Not really. Would have been kind of crazy if I think about it. It was just like the notice, you know. Now we'll be around like until this time, you know. This is like where like this is like what I can like get behind with. That like when the contract expires is like when they stop working. They don't necessarily have to like to do both a bang or so. This is also takes a lot of work. Not only for them, but also like on staff side, you know. They like work in a team. They work with each other. There's familiarity. It's like about like returning like the favor and stuff. But okay. It's pretty much done. Pretty much done. Yeah, it's pretty much done. Alright. Then this was like fan art I did like of Harusaki Nodoka. The stream lasted like 1 hour and like 24 minutes. But I drew like I say like about that's like about 18 minutes, so not bad. This was like the fastest I've drawn like in a long while. In a while. But yeah, in any case, thank you all for watching. I wish you a nice rest of the day, evening, and good night. Whatever times of the world you all are, with that I'm gonna say, bye bye.